Yeah, it definitely is, and with the track heating up, it's going to get slipperier, and there's Johan Zarco on pole and Fabio in the middle of the...
Being on the front row of the grid as qualifying went down. Pol Espargaro, of course, he had the yellow flag incident when Cal Crutchlow ended up his championship thus far.
Well, I love his comment after qualifying.
Difficult for them.
It's been a tough weekend for Honda, hasn't it? It's been a tough situation since Marquez and Crutchlow, they're working on it.
What's the mind frame like right about now, when you can see the grid clearing? Everything's...
Front row with two Frenchmen, 1 and 2 for the first time since pole position records began way back in 9. Brad Binder on row 3 with Petrucci and Mir. Then it's Rossi trying to get a 200th Premier Class podium with Rins and opposite side of the Petronas Yamaha SRT garage. The warm-up lap is underway.
The warm-up lap on a very warm circuit, 40 eyes, and Johan Zarco leads the pack once again. It's been a long time since he's been in this situation.
1 lap race. Some guys, you look at Brad Binder coming from row 3, they've got nothing to lose. Petrucci as well, in 4th place. And what about this man as well? Incredibly, 24 long years after his first ever victory here in Brno.
But in 1980, there are records everywhere.
Everybody's smashing. We've got the new generation in MotoGP with Fabio Quartararo, time since Sepang in 2018. What a shock he sprang yesterday.
Chapter 1. Republic, lights out here in MotoGP. What a start from Aleix Espargaro from the second row. Fabio Quartararo is trying to go toe-to-toe already with his toe. Through goes Morbidelli.
It's a Petronas Yamaha SRT1 too early on then here in Brno. It wasn't a launch off the line from pole that Johan Zarco was looking.
We go into turn 3. It's tight line there in the further back from Danilo Petrucci. And just looking at Jack Miller there, he's made a good start. We'll keep our eyes on Dovi as we go. As Aleix Espargaro now
That's to the Phillip Island last year. We're not used to seeing the Aprilia RSG mixing it with the big boys at the front. Valentino Rossi did not get a good launch away. His head down, already nearly half a second clear of Aleix Espargaro.
Well, this is exactly what Morbidelli needed, isn't it? Because he's got fantastic rhythm. He's really getting busy. He's made up a bunch of places. He's already up in the 12th.
Pole didn't work out for Zarco at all. He didn't get the launch with that Ducati hole shot device. He's come through sector 2 in 15th. He's now up 3 spots from 18th.
We've not seen this Franco Morbidelli since his World Championship winning year in Moto, mate. Pol Espargaro.
What about Alex Rins? What a first lap he's had. The Spanish hero still riding battered and bruised after that horrible crash he had in qualifying.
Morbidelli has got a gigantic lead already over Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia and Quartararo. Here is Johan Zarco then. He started pole, he's 6th at the...
No second invitation required for Fabio Quartararo. The Frenchman streaked straight on through. Quartararo 2nd then. He's just over a second behind his team.
Of his teammate. Look at the number 33. He almost loses the front end.
Somebody's wide there as well.
What's he doing?
And in fact, Pol Espargaro is going to lose another place here as well to Alex Rins. So Binder, we know when he gets the gloves off, he's a fighter, he's a scrapper.
Dumb lad, he's got to keep it cool though, the South African. He doesn't want to make another mistake. Friendly fire from him last time, and another bit there on his teammate.
Fabio Quartararo, Aleix Espargaro still hanging on there in the top 3. He's coming under real pressure though from Binder, who's dive-bombing him from way back into turn number. Battle is for 3rd.
Here he comes again, Brad Binder up the inside. He retakes 3rd, yes, 3rd.
Brad Binder feels like he's back in Moto 5th. Pol Espargaro has quickly retaken that lost place to Alex Rins as well.
Dovizioso's up to 12th. He's just behind Nakagami. The pair of them have made...
For Vinales in Brno, he went from 9th to 15th last year.
He's being challenged at the moment by his teammate Valentino Rossi. Further back, it was a howler of a start for Cal.
I wonder if it was Jack Miller on that red bike that was running wide on that last lap at turn 3, because Miller's down in 16th place.
Here comes Johan Zarco from the Aprilia rider. He's now going to be challenged by his brother Pol.
Yeah, unfortunately for Aleix Espargaro, what he's lacking is what he needs most around this horsepower Brno. So long way at the moment is Aleix.
He's going to try and bite back though. Here we go, Pol and Aleix.
It's a family affair in the top.
The rookie sensation Brad Binder is still 3rd. Pol Espargaro then now up into 5th place.
At the moment, Dovizioso's clawed his way up into 12th, but he's 4.6 seconds behind the race leader already.
Brad Binder is something else here. The future is so bright for that South African.
Can you imagine as well, Steve, if KTM get their first dry podium and it comes from a rookie?
It's a couple of turns then. Let's see where the gap is. It looks like it's come down by a 10th or 2. Brad Binder's challenging the World Championship leader here. And look, he's got...
We've had a few jousting matches, haven't they, before in Moto 2. There's nobody quicker than the man we're looking back to right now. Brad Binder's half a second quicker than your race leader Morbidelli.
Further back, no improvements made by the Monster Energy Yamaha riders. Vinales still 8th, Rossi still
Right now, because their rookie sensation, Brad Binder, how long will he be able to keep this pace? He hasn't got the experience, of course, when the tyres really do that can, and then suck it and see.
There's Valentino Rossi. He's got through on Maverick Vinales, so he's now up into 8th, so the news gets worse for the number 12. And
yeah, well, the Ducati GP20's nowhere. Best of them, Petrucci down in 11th place. It's down to Johann Zarco to take the fight, who's probably going to be fighting for the victory. So at the moment, plan A going to plan for Zarco.
yeah, Paul's just got to be patient here. He's got to pass.
And Binder, having got quickly onto Fabio Quartararo's rear tyre, has not been close enough as yet to strike and shoot.
Paul Espargaro trying to go inside, outside, find any door open, and Joan Mir's gone down with Miguel Oliveira. Start has put him in a position he didn't want to be. I don't know what's happened there.
Shocker. Paul Espargaro briefly got up the inside of Johann Zarco, but he's immediately surrendered that P7.
Binder's thinking about having a go here at second for Fabio Quartararo.
Sport hero you certainly have in the shape of Brad Binder. This is going to be the incident with Lecuona and Mir.
Oh, it was Lecuona.
He sees the checkered flag, given the almighty roasting he got from Hervé Poncharal, having failed to finish in Jerez last time out. Poncharal,
Yeah, I 100% agree. Meanwhile, getting very impatient indeed is that man there, 44, Paul Espargaro. He's going in quite hot.
Yourself here, wasn't it? How long did Paul Espargaro in Jerez 1 get stuck behind Petrucci, Miller and Dovizioso, of course?
Find a way through. No, the gap at the front, by the way, stabilised at about a second as we were on board here with Paul Espargaro. He'll take that wide line, now try and get on the power. Be honest indeed.
Yeah, Quartararo at the moment has not been able to... Paul Espargaro tries again at turn 3. He tried this on the last lap and then couldn't make it. Paul Espargaro. Quartararo can't get within a second at the moment of Morbidelli. Morbidelli just comfortably holding that gap around a second, 1 foot through.
You can just see, though, you know with Paul, he's angry at what happened with Brad. He's going to repay the favour.
He is not going to want...
Because he's got quite wide entry into a few corners
Paul
as well.
Espargaro, since KTM started in MotoGP 2017, has kind of been their golden boy. They didn't want to lose it. It's going to sting massively.
Valentino Rossi closing in here on both Aleix Espargaro and Alex Rins. So Rossi could, in terms of tyre life.
Nothing going for Maverick Vinales at all. Last time around, he was half a second slower than Rossi in front of him. He was in the mid-158 from Vinales, Steve, because he's not looked confident and comfortable right from the get-go here. And that crash early on in FT1 at turn 13 seemed to knock the stuffing out of him early on.
Yeah, it's not really gone a lot stronger than this. At the front, still, it's as if he's been leading races all of his life right now. In the early stages, no problem at all for Frank. Dovy's made up another place. He's up into 11.
And what happened as soon as Paul Espargaro forced his way through on Johann Zarco, he got straight to really dig into Quartararo and Binder. Straight away, look at that, 57.8. As soon as he was able to dispense of Zarco's through.
So he closes up on his teammate. He won't have liked that little nudge from the rookie teammate of his.
Another factory KTM ahead of him on a dry race podium in MotoGP.
Further back,
you're not going to be able to dangle a bigger carrot.
No, you're not. No, it's looking really comfortable and smooth. It's fair to say that Fabio Quartararo looks a lot smoother than he did on the first visit here on Friday. Red Bull KTM, and look at Brad Binder here. Is he going to have a go up the inside of Fabio Quartararo? No, not quite, as they head into turn 14 and then round on.
Binder, the South African.
Future stars.
Well, current, yeah, very much in the present. He's able to just manage that gap pretty comfortably.
Pit Byra will be a bit nervous about what's to come here, because Paul is closing. Credit to Johann Zarco. Yep. He is clinging on to this still on that 2019 Ducati.
Yeah, and he's the Rins, who's still nowhere near 100% fit, and what he's doing on that Suzuki is truly remarkable. The gap, but he's going to have to play something pretty strong as well to keep his teammate Paul Espargaro at bay, because Espargaro is coming, and he's coming fast.
He's Alex Rins, outstanding work in 6th. He's got past Aleix Espargaro and he's broken him as well. It's now the turn of Valentino Rossi. Across the now, Morbidelli at 58.4, just a fraction slower with a 58.5 was Quartararo. I'm starting to think that Binder's got the pace. Going to attack now on the brakes into turn number 3. He is, you know, he's going for it up the inside of the World Championship leader. He's done it. What a move by Bin, goes into 2nd place. Well, Quartararo is worried now. A little look over his shoulder and he sees another Red Bull KTM. He'll be thinking, what's going on here? And Joe Quartararo, I'm wondering whether Fabio here He's just started to run in already to a little bit of problem. He's not been able to run the same.
He's able to pull away from the Frenchman behind him, and Quattararo's got bigger problems to worry about as well, because Pol Espargaro and Johann Zarco are all over his rear tyre now as well. Can you, without the run-off at turn 5 in her F1, without the big mistake at the first corner...
Oh, it's 2 KTMs on the podium right now. Fabio's in bad to pass out. And you know, wide.
Well wide. That's going to be really costly. He's going to lose at least one spot to...
He is wide again.
He's got to keep calm, cool and collected.
He's gone down! He's gone down! It was just too much to ask. Yes. Oh dear. You know what? At that corner, at that speed, I think that Johann Zarco might be in a...
Like this in different classes. As you said, you can't quite see. You've got to go for the gap, but it sure wasn't Pol's fault. Straight and really, you know, Zarco knows he's got to come back to get a shot out of there.
Well, that's, of course, the same part of the circuit where the factory KTM team. I mean, he's done a bit of proper number on those guys, hasn't he, again?
Yeah, not surprisingly, it's under investigation. And meanwhile, at the front, who is doing an unbelievable job.
Blitzing by Quattararo. Quattararo's having grip problems here, big style. And Zarco, for your retirement in the Bahamas.
It's like an old Moto 2 race.
Quattararo's really suffering, isn't he, with grip here?
As it stands, can I just say, by the way, Brad Binder is reeling in Franco Morbidelli.
Oh, this would be unreal.
But if Brad Binder manages to win this race, Pol Espargaro, if you're anywhere near him, I'd stay clear of him. He's going to be
apps 12, isn't it, or turn 13. He ran really wide, lost that place to Quattararo. This is the race start. Perfect start.
I'd like to see the replay of Binder's moment with Pol Espargaro as well, because Pol might even say that that kind of started things off a bit. Key Brad Binder is a second behind him. Johann Zarco, who was on pole, is in third, but he's currently under investigation, being off the podium. His championship not really affected. Alex Rins, some hero's effort there in fifth.
Awesome. I mean, for his teammate Morbidelli.
There is Miguel Oliveira. Now, this is looking like a career best for him as well.
Is now down in 10th place. This is a humbling experience for Top Gun.
Yeah, well, this is great from Nakagami again. I mean, just as he was, like what I'm seeing. I mean, it just... so unpredictable, MotoGP, isn't it? There's Andrea Dovizioso then, steadily going about his business.
Into under half a second.
There must have been a mistake, surely, from Franco Morbidelli. Or has Franco Morbidelli's pay just...
He's got a win here.
Simon.
Seeing here, guys, is exactly the same as when Brad was behind and Fabio's dropped off quick. Maybe Franco's is coming next.
Binder's about to go ballistic. This is incredible. He's reeling in Franco Morbidelli.
KTM is so much stronger under braking. It's almost like if he gets close enough, he's going to make light work of it.
59.2 from Morbidelli. He's got right now on Morbidelli's rear tyre.
Brad Binder turns 25 on Tuesday.
Pretty good early.
More than a bit special here. The biggest start you've ever had.
If those South African fans have got any voice left at the end of this Grand Prix.
Now, up the inside he goes. The rookie, Brad Binder, on the Red Bull KTM leads a Grand Prix here in Brno.
Bike lengths, he ekes out on Morbidelli's Yamaha.
I'm speechless. Absolutely speechless.
KTM. He's won a world title for them in Moto 3. He's won Grand Prix also. A responsible riding in the long lap penalty for Johann Zarco winner, Moto 2 winner, and now a potential Moto GP winner for that camp. Incredible. He's
witnessing history. Now, Johann Zarco, long lap penalty.
Is that going to drop him back to Quattararo? He might just about get away with it.
Down the hill into turn 5 we go.
Do you know what? He might just have enough of a buffer to still do the long lap penalty and come out. He's in.
He's got to try and stay behind that line, though. Has he done it? Well, it's close, isn't it? I mean, full marks for his effort. Full marks.
Dear me. This race is just astonishing.
This is crazy.
If you hear a thud, it's our jaws hitting the floor.
In the background, Maverick Vinales.
Do you know what's going to really frustrate Johann Zarco is the fact that he was actually coming back to Franco Morbidelli quite quick. He thought he'd seen the back of Johann Zarco at KTM last year, and then he gets whacked and then out of the race.
Talk about bittersweet for KTM, because, I mean,
Morbidelli's got nothing. Now he's hoping that Binder's overcooking those tyres, and he's going to have a big drop-off. Look at this in the
front. That is precision. I mean, he deserves the podium just for that. That's astonishing.
That was absolutely brilliant.
KTM 1-2. Davide Tardozzi.
Ducati clearly are not happy. They are not happy.
Yeah, but guys, can I throw in there that, you know, as a rider, you know you have to get by. If you're going to squeeze through while the rider runs...
So can you maybe go down and see what Ducati are complaining about? They're clearly not happy. Davide Tardozzi and Paolo Ciabatti talking for quite a long time now with Ertra.
At the back, this is the situation. The gap at the front has just come down again. Morbidelli's closed in and Brad Binder. There is Johan Zarco, whereas yet, this could get worse for the World Championship leader.
I'm buying a thesaurus before we go to Austria, because I'm running out of words to describe Alex Rins at the moment.
Is he going to go through already? He is. Oh, no, not quite.
Damage limitation mode now clicked in by Fabio Quartararo. An exhibition befitting a rider who's been in this class for about 10 years.
Well, not 10 minutes. Some of the best riders in the world that we've had the pleasure.
As well, Steve, is that Binder's been sensational. He's been absolutely awesome and phenomenal, but what a job the KTM engineers have done with that RC16.
There is Fabio Quartararo, a contact between Rins and Fabio. Somehow he manages to hold on, the Frenchman, but not for long, because here he comes again.
Quartararo's rear tyre's just not hooking up at all. They're coming out of that turn 12.
This is the point in the race, Matt, that Franco Morbidelli said yesterday. Third, or once these guys get past Fabio, will they be able to close in on the Frenchman?
Well, it's Rossi trying to find a way through on Rins and Quartararo. Got to say, Quartararo, given the state of his rear tyre, he's doing a really good job keeping Rins and Rossi at bay at the moment.
Here we go, here comes Rins up the inside of Fabio Quartararo. He's made it stick, has he? But here comes Fabio again. He's trying to go side by side. Valentino's waiting in the...
Can you imagine a year ago that we'd be saying a KTM likely 1-2 today, because I believe it as well, that they had a better front.
In here goes Rossi, through on the World Championship leader.
Quartararo's just like a sitting duck right now. Fabio Quartararo is just a passenger on that wide Zara one at the moment. Miguel Oliveira
For KTM.
You know, Brad Binder said right from the get-go that he was so impressed with the stopping performance, the braking potential of that KTM. Lacking horsepower, KTM has been getting it to the ground. Oliveira, is he going to make light work of Quartararo up Horsepower Hill? No, he isn't. History is about to be made by the South African sensation. Not only is he about to take KTM's first drive MotoGP for the World Championship leader, but Brad Binder is poised. He's about, what, 6 or 7 minutes away by the name of Brad Binder. A name you're going to be hearing quite a lot of, I think, over the next decade and more. 17.5 laps old. Morbidelli can't live with that pace at all.
It gets worse if you're a Maverick Vinales fan,
but he's not being punished at all by his championship rivals, Dovizioso and Vinales. In fact, he's actually stretching his lead.
You know I'm an ex-rider. You know the saying, a man's man. You know, that Brad Binder as a rider's rider. I love
Matt, and I am too. We had the pleasure of commentating on him in 2016 in Moto3 when he came from the back of the grid to win in Jerez as well. And this is just, I mean, completely lost for words, which is a bit of a problem when you're in a commentary box. Zarco, what a story that is. Morbidelli is going to get his maiden podium potentially here. Alex Rins in 4th. He's 6 seconds off with a busted shoulder.
33 at turn 3. 3 laps away from history.
Really hope that this goes for him, because it is going to be something astonishing. I mean, the roof is going to come off that Cake penalty loop, but believe it or not, he is now under intense pressure with 2 laps to go from Alex Rins and Valentino.
Morbidelli. Alex Rins. This will be one of the most gutsy, courageous podiums I've seen for a long time if you pull previous lap. Johan Zarco's got his hands full here in the shape of Alex Rins. It was Alex Rins last year, and these latter laps, fast forward 12 months, he's trying to snatch the podium late on.
Rather ironically, they're catching Franco Morbidelli as well. There's not enough time, but
Rins is potentially going to get this. Rins surely will go all in, because he can smell, he can sniff the podium.
That would be the podium of his life, but nothing would take the headlines away from what we could be witnessing here as Brad Binder is about to start the final lap. Had some rough old time. Ironically, that's Czech man here in the Czech Republic. I mean, he's going to be celebrating something later on.
He is winning MotoGP races. They've won everything in 2 wheels, off-road, road racing, and now they're about to take a step on.
Brad Binder has been for KTM, winning the Moto3 World Championship.
winning out there. And it just goes to show, if you do that, yeah, there's some time management in that, but you can win like that. Unbelievable.
Nothing left out of that rear tyre. Can Alex Rins get close enough? Zarco's going to make himself as wide as possible. He's got the horsepower on the Ducati, but he's riding on marbles. That rear tyre's turned to chewing gum for Zarco now.
He's got a couple of chances left, hasn't he? It's going to have to be done. Brno, brilliant! You beauty! A blazing victory for Binder. A new star is born. Franco.
What a race! What a performance by the South African Brad Binder. Jubilation and joy yet again for the Esponsorama.
Your life. 3 Grand Prix into his Premier Class career, and the South African flag is going to be a brilliant 6th.
There's going to be some major parties kicking off tonight in South Africa. What a...
Viral with me. He's getting congratulated by everyone, including Hervé. Big hugs, but I think I'll get the mic in there.
Podium finish. He led for such a long time, but he had nothing in response to Brad Binder's searing pace. But good to see Morbidelli second. He was the top Petronas Premier class since Marc Marquez in Austin 2013. We can go back to Simon in pit lane, who I'm sure has got an excellent performance by those engineers. Fabio Quartararo, he'll have to take this one on the chin. There was no dream repeat of his dominance.
Yales
14th, absolutely dismal in the extreme. I mean, it got to about laps 5 or...
Believe it. Johan Zarco there. Of course, these two know each other, both part of the IO team when Brad was a world champion in Moto 3.
Teddy's like, that was incredible.
Happy Valentino Rossi there with 5th as well.
That's a great ride by Rossi. Funny old game, isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it? It is so strange.
So chuffed as well for Franco Morbidelli.
No, because he went wide, so I was in, keeping the line, and when we touched, I did not expect. I think he crashed
with a great power and a great joy. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
And thank you to everyone at home for always supporting me, and I hope this is the start to many more.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job by Johan Zarco. There's going to be split opinion about the incident from Zarco. He did finish in a brilliant 3rd place. But what a day as well for us. Here is a new star of MotoGP. What an exciting crop of youngsters we have emerging. Facing 2, Brad Binder, the first South African to win in MotoGP. Binder truly brilliant in Brno.
Going to be going long into the night for the 3 on the podium there. We are off to a short break, but we've got